in the hell was that all about?
Like, crashing his truck into a theater marquee while screaming at the top of his lungs is funny and all, but the line he delivers after that just makes the entire scene so much better.
What the hell is a marquee doing here? It's crazy.
Some other standouts include the scene outside of the convenience store where Mike promises he'll stay in the car and behave, but instead gets photographed buddying up with a bunch of stoned teenagers.
Smoking, snorting, shooting, sucking.
But the funniest segment overall, for me at least, is Rock the Vote. Mike getting high with a bunch of reggae guys and then suddenly turning into a philosopher is so good.
You guys are the victims of a tyrannical, racist, oppressive society.
The Kill Whitey line might just be the most quoted moment within this movie.
Kill Whitey!
But the crowd reacting to Mike's passion for cupcakes and peanut butter cups just gets a laugh out of me every time.
You know what that's about?
And of course, anything involving Gary Busey, who played an unhinged combat veteran named Drake Savage.
I'm not that far from dragging you out of the car and beating you into dust.
But one thing that stands out about Black Sheep is just how many scenes Chris Farley and David Spade didn't appear in together. And that wasn't a mistake, because as much as Penelope Spheeris loved Chris Farley, she absolutely despised David Spade. She later stated, "I don't think I've ever even smiled at anything David Spade's ever done." Chris was lovable and positive, and David was so bitter and negative.
You're a smug, unhappy little man, and you treat people like they were idiots.
And the director's distaste for him was one thing, but David Spade claims that Chris once sort of hinted that he should exit the movie so that more time could be spent on the brother dynamic between Mike and Al, as Farley thought the movie would work better as a dramedy rather than an over-the-top slapstick comedy.
Do you want me to lose? I really thought you believed that. I'd want to die.
Another thing that many people aren't even aware of is that Chris Farley had a pretty serious but rocky relationship with actress and model Lori Bagley. By rocky, I mean on again, off again, and, well, open. But you probably remember Lori from the pool scene in Tommy Boy. I guess Chris's pickup line actually worked.
Know where the weight room is? I'll check it out.
David later admitted that he felt betrayed by their partnership as he introduced them to each other and alleges that he was very close to Lori. David found out they were romantically involved completely by accident, which created even more tension on the set of Black Sheep. Chris would often return to the hotel room he shared with Lori during filming, venting, saying things like, "You're the reason me and my best friend aren't talking." As production wrapped on Black Sheep in September of 1995, Chris, already doubtful about the movie he just finished filming, also had to face the fact that he wouldn't be returning to SNL for its season premiere later that month. A new regime took over at NBC that, quite simply, didn't appreciate Chris Farley's comedic style. So he wasn't fired, but as Adam Sandler later revealed, both he and Farley were basically asked to quit the show.
Well, I love Saturday Night Live. I mean, it was the best thing that's ever happened to me, that's for sure. 5 years of a dream come true, you know?
By all accounts, in the later part of 1995, Chris had been clean and sober for over 3 years. But that all changed when, on his way to New York to do some post-production work on Black Sheep, Chris ordered an alcoholic beverage during his flight. That one drink quickly spiraled into a full-blown relapse of both drugs and alcohol. Penelope Spheeris alleged that when Chris was brought into the studio to record ADR, or automated dialogue replacement, he showed up an hour late and looked to be on something as he was very sweaty and his eyes were pinned. Around that same time, Paramount held a preview screening for a rough cut of Black Sheep in New Jersey, for which Chris was accompanied by his brother Tom. Tom recalls that before they left, Chris was lining his pockets with miniature liquor bottles from the hotel minibar. When he questioned him about it, Chris insisted that they were a gift for the limo driver coming to bring them to the screening. But it turns out that Chris was secretly drinking those miniatures during trips to the bathroom both before and during the screening because he was trying to drown out his negative thoughts on the movie. One of Chris's best friends and sobriety partners later revealed that he was extremely upset after attending that preview screening, telling her he fucking hated Black Sheep. It was just Tommy Boy 2, only worse.
This is a little more knockdown, drag-out comedy than Comedy Boy was, and we took out the story, plot, character development.
By the promotional stage of Black Sheep in late January, early February of 1996, you could just tell that something was off.
Do you think that David Spade and Chris Farley are the new emerging comedy team for the 90s?
I don't know about that.
Watching this alongside some of the interviews he did while promoting Tommy Boy, it's clear that his excitement for this movie just wasn't the same. Although Chris was able to put on a happy facade when he needed to.
Your hair looks really cool there.
I told you!
Wow.
Hey, does that poster make me look fat?
No, your face does.
Critical reviews of Tommy Boy hurt Chris's feelings enough, but this movie was viewed in an even worse light.
It's terrible. I mean, I enjoyed Tommy Boy a lot. I mean, I thought Tommy Boy had warmth to it. It had some real laughs. This film doesn't have a single laugh.
I also can't imagine how bad he felt when Siskel and Ebert not only tore apart the movie itself, but his performance specifically.
I knew John Belushi. I knew John Candy. He's no John Belushi or John Candy.
But Roger Ebert did at least try to vouch for Chris a few episodes later.
I think it's the writers that these guys are at the mercy of. I think Chris Farley can be very funny with the right material.
Which movie have you seen him in that was good?
I haven't seen a movie that I liked him in, but doesn't make him bad.
Me either. Me either.
Doesn't make him
Me
bad.
either.
God, what an asshole. But I do agree that with the right role in maybe a dramatic comedy of some kind, Chris Farley could have won the respect of people who didn't really enjoy his comedic style. I mean, his dramatic chops already improved so much in the short time between Tommy Boy and Black Sheep. The scene where Mike packs his stuff up after being fired from the rec center makes me so sad every time I watch it.
I love this job. I've been here since the place opened. And then they just...
But it seems like every movie he agreed to star in came with a constant barrage of negative criticism. Chris's friends and family tried to pressure him into just taking his time to pick the right roles, not just anything that came his way that promised a hefty paycheck.
You know, right after Tommy Boy, there were a lot of things offered to Chris because he kind of blew up. And the things that were offered to him, I thought were terrible. And he kept saying, well, do this with me, Pete, do this. I said, it's terrible, it's terrible. And I said, no, and he got really upset with me.
It's been said many times by those who were close to him that he was a perfectionist who was extremely hard on himself. Amy Poehler said that after his performances at Second City, he would often stand backstage and berate himself if he felt he didn't do a good job. It was almost like he couldn't hear how loud everyone was laughing. Feelings of self-doubt, constant negative reviews, and the downtime Chris had in between movies, especially